Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into residence life, not just where students sleep, but where they grow, develop, and sometimes learn life's hardest lessons. Dorm life is more than a building with beds. It's a training ground for adulthood, for career readiness, and for understanding the complexities of living in a community with people from every background imaginable. When students move into a residence hall, they're stepping into a small society, one with norms, expectations, challenges, and incredible opportunities. And to be honest, most of us aren't warned about how big that transition really is.
Absolutely. Dorm life is where students get their first exposure to negotiating boundaries, navigating misunderstandings, and building relationships that may shape their futures. It's a place where independence meets responsibility. You're not just managing your academics anymore. You're managing your environment, your reputation, and your responses to situations you didn't create. College is where the real world starts practicing on you long before you graduate.
One of the first things students encounter is diversity, not the poster board version, but the lived version. People from Baltimore, Montgomery County, Prince George's, the Eastern Shore, Western Maryland, people from out of state, international students, students with different languages, beliefs, comfort levels, and lived experiences. Every person brings a personal history with them, joys, fears, biases, and boundaries. When that many histories share a hallway, misunderstandings can happen quickly unless the community practices respect.
And not just respect, awareness. This is where we need to be honest with our audience. In America, perception and misinterpretation can escalate fast. Some of that is because of our long history. The specter of Emmett Till still haunts our national consciousness. How fear, assumptions, and false accusations can change or even end a life. Even though we're generations removed, the emotional memory remains. And in today's world, we also have the Karen phenomenon, people escalating everyday situations into emergencies, sometimes out of fear, sometimes out of bias, sometimes out of entitlement. These patterns affect everyone, and they absolutely show up in dorm life.
We want to bring this into the present because students learn from real life examples. Think about the recent situation in DC, where a subway employee called authorities on an icy agent who was simply buying a sandwich. One misunderstanding, one assumption, and suddenly a peaceful situation becomes a national headline. And what does that teach college students? One person's interpretation can create a very big story, very fast. Dorm life has these moments every day. People misreading tone, taking a joke literally, or assuming danger where none exists.
And another example, on national TV, two football players bumped into a state trooper while running onto the field. Harmless contact, no aggression, no intent, yet it blew up online with commentary from every angle. Some called it disrespect, some called it accidental, some made it a political debate. Again, that's a tiny moment turning into a national conversation. For dorm students, the lesson is powerful. You don't control how others interpret an interaction, but you do control your awareness of how you present yourself.
But let's shift to the positive, because residence life is full of good examples too. We've seen students help move strangers' furniture in during rainstorms, share meals when someone was homesick, tutor each other at midnight before exams, or quietly check on their neighbors without needing recognition. And we've all seen the videos online of students de-escalating social conflicts, not to go viral, but simply because someone needed help. Dorms can bring out some of the best human instincts: kindness, support, community.
Exactly. We also see RAs who become mentors, roommates who become lifelong friends, international students who open doors into new cultures, and resident communities that rally around each other during crises. Residence life isn't just warnings, it's opportunities for growth, confidence, empathy, and leadership. We're talking to an audience that needs to know dorms can be a place where your story gets better.
Now let's talk about daily appearance, not in a superficial way, but in a reality-based way. In a dorm, your look sends signals, not about fashion, but about your state of mind. If someone looks constantly overwhelmed, closed off, or irritated, people may hesitate to approach them, even when that's not how they really feel. If someone dresses with consistent care, clean, presentable, intentional, it communicates self-respect and readiness. And let's be very clear, we're not saying dress expensive. We're saying be aware.
Right? In shared spaces, Your body language, facial expressions, and attire become part of how others interpret your intentions. Dorms are tight environments. People observe each other naturally. The goal isn't perfection. It's recognizing the message your appearance and demeanor send before you speak a word. This awareness is career readiness, because whether you're in a dorm, a job interview, or a leadership role, the principle is the same.
Boundaries and the golden rule of residence life. Boundaries matter. They're not optional and they're not one-sided. That's why we use this principle. Your rights end where my rights begin. Everyone's space, comfort, safety, and dignity must be protected. And expressing boundaries is not weakness. Saying, like, I'm uncomfortable, I need clarity, I need a room change, is healthy communication, not hostility or discrimination.
Housing types, mixed gender buildings, single gender floors, gender inclusive wings don't eliminate conflict. People do, communication does, empathy does. When someone reports discomfort, it must be taken seriously, but carefully, thoughtfully, and without assumptions. When someone is accused, they deserve fair treatment too. This balance is how real communities work.
What to ask before signing a housing contract? Students should ask housing structure questions. How are the buildings organized? What are the bathroom setups? Who cleans what? Compatibility questions. How does roommate matching work? What if the questionnaire didn't capture your personality or preferences? Can you request someone you trust? Safety and conduct questions. How are conflicts handled? What counts as a violation? What happens if a concern is reported? Academic support. Are tutoring or quiet floors available? How close is the dorm to study spaces? Are there living learning communities? Good decisions come from good questions. Dorm life prepares people for adulthood more than they know. You learn how to negotiate space, communicate needs, protect your well-being, and respect the rights of others. Some people who live 10 feet from you now may one day be your business partner, coworker, supervisor, neighbor, or friend. You're building your network right now, not after graduation.
And that's why everything we said today matters. Appearance, communication, assumptions, misunderstandings, positive leadership, awareness of history, awareness of current events, and respect for boundaries. Remember the principle, your rights end where my rights begin. If everyone in a residence hall lives by that standard, the dorm becomes a place of growth, connection, safety, and opportunity, not conflict. Thank you for joining us. We're talking to an audience that matters, and we hope you carry these lessons into your dorm, your classroom, your career, and your community. We'll see you in the next episode as we continue exploring what it truly means to be ready for college and ready for life.